Hi, today I am going to be busting 3 blanketing your horse myths and giving you 3 pro tips also. So let's get right into it. 3 myths blanketing your horse that I am going to bust. Myth number 1, when you feel cold, it's time to put your blanket on the horse. This is not true at all. We, of course, do not have the thick winter coats that our horses grow out, and therefore we feel cold probably all the time when they are not feeling anything at all. So that is myth number 1. You do not tell when to put the blanket on your horse by how you feel. Myth number 2, if it's snowing out, your horse needs a blanket. Have you ever driven past a pasture of horses or just walked around an area where there is a pasture and it's snowing and you see snow on the back of a horse and on the hind end of the horse, and it's just sitting there on your horse. Horse doesn't have a blanket on, but the snow doesn't seem to be melting. It's not going anywhere. This is a sign that that horse's coat, their natural winter coat, is working exactly right. The snow is not evaporating because the body heat of the horse is not leaving the horse. It's staying within the horse. This is how the amazing winter coat, natural winter coat of a horse helps to insulate them. The hairs stand up. The snow is actually sitting on the hair and it's not melting down into the body or the skin of the horse. There's actually a layer of air between that snow and the horse's body. So if you see a horse in a pasture and they've got snow on them and it's snowing down, don't be worried about that horse, especially if you see that horse eating a lot of grass or hay while they are out. That is a sign that that horse is doing perfectly well without a blanket. Before I get to myth number 3, let me introduce myself. My name is Marilyn Lombardi, and this is A Life with Horses. If you like this video, if you're someone who's been away from horses for a long time and now you're getting back involved and you want a guide, then please consider subscribing below, hit notifications so you don't miss any of my videos, and hit like on the video. That will help me so much and I appreciate it. So myth number 3, I'm going to bust. Any blanket will do. If your horse, it's the middle of winter, it's really cold, it's really severe weather, any blanket you can find is better than no blanket. This is absolutely a no-no. This is not true. If that blanket is ill-fitting, if it's causing rub marks on your horse, then now you have a wound that you have to deal with. So you never want a blanket on your horse that doesn't fit them properly. If it's too big, it could be a tripping hazard if they stick their legs through the neck area because it's hanging down, or if it's getting snagged on trees and so forth. It is not better to have any old blanket on your horse. In today's world, the technology for horse blankets is so much more improved than it ever was. The outer shells of these blankets are insulated, they're breathable, they also have different thicknesses. You have blankets with low fill, medium fill, high fill, so for different temperatures and different climates. You have sheets that have no insulation, but they're all waterproofed. The blanket technology is so improved, and there's so many sizes out there. Please take the time to get one that is the correct weight for your horse and is the correct size for your horse. It won't be that difficult, and I'm going to be linking below catalogs and stores that you can shop at that have perfect assortments of blankets for all sizes of horses. Okay, I'm going to bring you 3 pro tips of times when you definitely do want to consider blanketing your horse. If you are riding and exercising and working your horse through the winter, as we do here in North Georgia, pretty much we ride all the time through the winter with the exception of when it's pouring rain. But if you're doing that, you may decide to clip your horse's coat. So you're clipping their natural coat and you're taking away their natural insulation. In that case, you definitely want to consider blanketing your horse when it gets very cold or when you know that it's the right time in your climate. You will clip your horse because When you're riding, they sweat. If you're working and exercising, they're going to sweat. But if their coat is clipped, that sweat's going to dry up pretty quickly, a lot more quickly than if they have their long winter coat. And it helps you manage them better when you are riding and exercising. So that's one way or one time that you definitely want to consider blanketing your horse when you have them clipped. Number two, if your horse is old, very young, or just a hard keeper. A hard keeper is a horse that just isn't holding weight easily in the winter, or your horse is pretty elderly or very young. You definitely want to help them out with the addition of a blanket in cold enough temperatures. And my last pro tip is a time when you really want to consider blanketing your horse is, let's say you have just shipped a new horse, you live out in northern Minnesota or North Dakota or Wyoming or Colorado. It's pretty cold, it's severely cold at some points in the winter, but you're shipping your horse from Florida, that's where they've been living. You definitely want to consider helping that horse acclimate to the climate by giving them a blanket or sheet. This is a time when it's really a no-brainer in that situation, because horses will acclimate to the climates that they live in and that they're used to. So give your horse in that situation a little extra help. So I hope these winter horse blanketing tips and busting myths has helped you out. I hope you have a great winter with your horse. Please check the links below. I've also included a flow chart that is put together here by Auburn University, but these are available in a lot of different universities and stores around the country, so I'm sure you'll be able to find this, but I will have the link to the Auburn University chart below. If you ever have any questions, please check with your veterinarian. They are going to be a big help to you if you are worried about when to blanket, how to blanket, if to blanket, and that sort of thing. So check with your vet. Don't hesitate to do that. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.